We got Venus in Virgo. So it just left Leo. And of course, everybody can pretty much put themselves in a position where they may have been overspending when it comes to money and things of that matter, spending too much money and too much emphasis and attention on things and shit. Now, when Venus go in Virgo, you're going to be looking at the details now. You're going to be very cautious and aware of what you're spending your money on. You're going to be very critical, and of course, you're going to be aware of these things now. So, of course, you're going to humble yourself. And of course, this is a circumstance situation that Venus falls here. So it's pretty much in KO mode. It's knocked out right now. So it's pretty much working on itself to make sure that when it does wake back up and go into Libra, it can feel more comfortable and more home right now. So for me, it's like, you're going to work. You don't want to go to work, but of course you got to do what you got to be able to fucking do. So when after that, Venus and Virgo is pretty much working here. It's at work, it's getting things done, and of course it's working on this routine. So when it's finished and when it's done, it's gonna go into Libra. And of course, when it gets into Libra, that means it's home from work, and of course it's feeling much better now. It's more comfortable. See, this is gonna be a circumstance situation where everybody is gonna start sobering up. You're gonna start looking at the details when it comes to your relationship. Feel me? You're gonna be looking at the details, trying to analyze things, see if what your partner was doing during the Venus and Leo stage. Feel me? Relationships can become kind of like, very stiff and narrow at this point. Pretty much you're gonna have to work hard to get in her genes. That's pretty much gonna be the phase or the mechanism during this point. You're gonna have to work real hard to basically have a true purpose on how you can see things. See, Venus and Virgo individuals, they pretty much look outside themselves for love, but they don't really feel loved by their home, their family, or siblings in general. So of course, they're gonna look outside themselves for this. And of course, if they don't find this, it takes some time. These people are very loving, caring, of course, preaching and teaching, but of course, they kind of stiff when it comes to this manner. They are emotional and sensitive. They keep these things kind of like buried and hidden because it's the earth sign. The earth sign is more about touching and feeling. And of course, this is a scenario where things is gonna kind of like be haywire. Love scenario is gonna switch up right now. Yeah, if you thought she was what you thought she was previously, it ain't gonna be the same. Everybody gonna have some differences where they're gonna have to work towards. But of course, you need this though. You need to look at the details. You need to be organized. Venus and Virgo also gonna be in the perspective of loving companionships on helping people during this phase and basically, being assistance and of course being service in general to people. But we're gonna break down the houses real fast. And of course, this is what you're gonna be dealing with. Now when you have Venus and Virgo, this is loving and compromising of details, organized, and of course, how you can assert yourself. See, in this position, you're gonna come across very power and controlling when it comes to your personality. For me, because this is gonna be a position where you should look more towards fulfilling your needs in life instead of like looking outside and trying to like fulfill other purposes where things may not cater to your energies. I mean, you gotta like pretty much have your own personality, your own perspective on things, and not look towards others trying to fulfill these things. And of course, make sure it's 50-50 in this position because you can pretty much put yourself in scenarios where you may overlook the give back energies. You could just not give a fuck about things. You could just keep moving forward and shit, not looking back for something in return. No, if you put in the work, put in the energy, you better have that 50-50 perspective. Stop bending over backwards for motherfuckers. If you got Venus and Virgo in the second house, you're going to be basically loving and compromising and looking at the details of your values. Of course, you're going to be looking at the details of who you're valuing, what you're valuing, of course, how you compromising. If these people, places, and things that you're valuing hold no weight, and of course, you're going to feel the need to basically experience other perspectives or other things that you could basically value during this phase. You may overindulge into the area. Try to find equilibrium and balance, and you'll be all right. You got Venus and Virgo in the third house. You're going to be basically loving and compromising the details of your surroundings and to being aware of what you're familiar with during this time. You're going to be looking at a whole lot of details when it comes to people in your surroundings, things that you do in your surroundings, and being curious about your surroundings during this time. And you can be a service and kind of generous in your surroundings during this time. Try not to put yourself in mental blockages. Make sure your mind is free so you can be open to new experiences and new information that you can hope to for tag that can go in your favors and you'll be all right. If you got Venus and Virgo in the fourth house, this is going to be a circumstance situation of loving and compromising privacy and emotional details. So you're going to be looking at the details, your emotions, your privacy, and your private connections with family and close ones during this time. Try not to be too hard. Try not to be 'cause this time you may be trying to separate from these people, these individuals during this time, or pretty much change things up when it comes to your home matters right now. You may be trying to switch shit up during this time, or you gonna be, other people may trying to switch up the way they love towards you. It's like the vice versa energies. Be aware of this. If you got Venus and Virgo in the fifth house, you're gonna be loving and compromising about the way you express yourself and the details. See, this is gonna be a circumstance situation where you're gonna like pretty much strive for positions in areas where you can like feel free to express yourself and be center stage for something. If you feel trapped or pretty much blocked, you're gonna be looking at the details of trying to like figure out new ways on how to express your creativity and talents. Also, if you got Venus in Virgo in the sixth house, you're gonna be basically loving and compromising about your daily routine, what you do on a day-to-day basis, how you work, your scheduling, your eating, your health. So you can basically be doing things very, very impulsively in these positions when it comes to your health, helping people, and doing extra curriculum things. And of course, you could be very self-criticizing and self-judgeable during this perspective. And of course, you could take your health, your exercise, your routine, what you do on a day-to-day basis. You could basically be just getting straight to it during this time. And of course, it's kind of like you may go to the extremes in these areas. So try to like find balance. And of course, try to find me time for yourself and you'll be all right. You got Venus and Virgo in the seventh house. You're going to be, see, it don't fuck with this house. So it's going to be ups and downs in this position right here. Venus and Virgo in this position, it kind of like falls here. You're going to be pretty much looking at the details of how you can fix your relationship or how you can fix someone that you're relating to and perspectives. And of course, this is going to be kind of hard because you're going to be wanting to be loved, but the way you're searching or basically intact into hoops with love, it's not going to go how you want it to go. For me, you may have to bend over backwards to basically make sure the cup is full on both ends. And of course, your cup is full, but of course, the person that you cup that you're feeling, this motherfucker don't want to move. He don't want to do nothing. It's like the motherfucker that was beating that girl ass. Of course, he was put in a wheelchair after that. I forgot what that movie was called. But yes, this is a scenario that you may be dealing with in this perspective. If you got Venus and Virgo in the eighth house, this is going to be a circumstance situation of loving and compromising and looking at the details of your desires and shit. See, try not to put yourself in a dark space during this time. Feel me? Try not to look too much at the details when it comes to propagating towards your desires. Make sure your desires is more fulfilled towards rainbows or switching up your desires or coming up with a new scheduling system or transforming your desires at this point. You don't want to fuck around and be having the wrong desires on your perspective. And of course, Venus don't fuck with this house. But Virgo can basically do good here. So you're going to be dealing with some opposite desires on this time. Desire that you may not even compromise with. For me, so this is going to be an uncompromisation of certain desires that you can compromise with in cahoots or uncompromised with and get rid of. See, Venus and Virgo in the ninth house, you basically going to be dealing with experiencing of details of your morals, your principles, your experiences, long distance travels, and of course, your philosophies during this perspective. See, this is going to be a circumstance situation where what you do on a day-to-day basis, like in this positioning, try not to put convictions out there that you ain't ready to basically take or strive towards too. You're gonna be looking at the details of your convictions, what you're into, what you're learning about, and things that matter. It's one thing to have these things, and you may overindulge into these areas. So try to find a sustainable practicality method that you can basically go into cahoots with, and you'll be out in these areas, and everything will basically flow into your perspective. But as long as you got hope, and as long as you got faith, and looking at the details of your moral systems, and of course, having love and faith within these areas, you'll be all right with these energies, and these energies won't fuck you over. If you got Venus and Virgo in the 11th house, this is going to be a circumstance situation where the way you love and compromise about your associates and associations during the times, you're going to be looking at the details and figuring out on how you can connect with these people or how you can unconnect with these people during the time. Because also, the sun is a motherfucking Leo. So this is kind of like dealing with the opposites of this position. And Venus is not kind of like far from this area. So this is going to be a scenario where you're going to be looking at the details of the associates for me. And of course, this is going to be a circumstance situation where how you put yourself and how you be a service to your associates. You're gonna be pretty much be very strict in these areas, and you may be cutting motherfuckers off in this position, in this area right here. Or you may be overindulging into your desires. You may be doing too much. Try to get more down to earth and practical, and everything will basically go into your perspective. But you need the stage to shine on too at that. So you be dealing with opposite energies. There's no I in team too, so learn how to share the rock. If you got Venus and Virgo in the 12th house, this is opposite. So you're gonna be loving and compromising. Looking at the details of your dreams, your fantasies, and of course your visions and illusions. This is gonna be a scenario where things is gonna be shady, dreams is gonna be shady, and the way you do things like is gonna be kind of opposite. You're gonna be pretty much bending over backwards for people that you're in cahoots with, because Venus is exalted in the 12th house. So the people that you're bending over backwards for, you may be going to the extremes in these areas. You may be dealing with trust issues and shit like that, dealing with fantasies and illusions when it comes to how you love and express. And of course, this could be a situation where you're going to have all the talent in the world and all the creativity in the world, but of course you're going to be in a scenario where you're going to feel like you want better and need better and want to be doing better when it comes to your dreams and reaching for better spheres. But it's like you're going to feel that you should be with this person or help this person or nurture this person. If this person don't fit your criteria, you leave this person. Simple. It's just that simple. You may have to need your space or create space. Depending on how the situation is, you might have kids with this person, so you may be trapped with this person. So it could play out in many areas and perspectives of that. And yeah, that's how it's going to be playing out in your houses. Now, for your zodiac signs, Aries, you're going to be dealing with in conjunction. So this means that the way you express yourself in your love matters, it can come off very undetailed oriented at this point. You could be putting yourself in positions where you can be getting in arguments with people. Others may not agree with you. You could become very rebellious during this point. And also, Tauruses, you're going to have a gift to be down to earth and practical when it comes to details and being a service and kind and generous to people during this time. Also, Geminis is going to be dealing with some mental conflict when it comes to the way they think, analyze, and do these things in cahoots when it comes to love matters. You're going to be dealing with some conflict. But of course, this can help you. This Venus and Virgo phase can help you get on your shit. But you're going to be dealing with some new experiences during this time. And also, Aries is going to be dealing with some hurt perspectives. You're going to be dealing with some past trauma during this time when it comes to love matters. Also, Cancers, y'all gonna be pretty much seeing the other side, but also having opportunities to pretty much act on love matters. But you're gonna be like playing with the details with your feelings. You're gonna be putting your feelings into details and expressing these things on this time. You could be very kind and generous too, loving at that point. Also, all you Leos, you're gonna be seeing the other side of how you can pretty much fix things up and fix the narrative when it comes to love matters. Virgos, you're the bright and shining armor. Libras, you're going to be seeing how you can work harder to get more down to practical matters. Scorpio is going to have power and controlling deep transformational opportunities to come to love matters and looking at the details. Sagittarius is going to be dealing with experiences that they may promise to make or break during this perspective, a whole lot of conflict. Capricorn is going to have a gift to bring the structure and the way they love into manifestation. Aquarius is going to be dealing with some I know it all kind of energies, misunderstandings and conjunction. And the Pisces, you're going to be dealing with some opposite energies when it comes to reality in your dreams. But these are the energies.